GF are trusted and used by the careers services at over 100 universities and business schools worldwide to help their students get jobs. Our partners include London Business School, UCL, LSE, the Chinese University of Hong Kong, and et.al. Our solutions are developed by former SHL psychologists with decades of experience in job assessment. Hi everyone, my name is Steve Jackson, and in this video, I'm going to share the 5 most common numerical reasoning question types that you are likely to face in any upcoming test. I will give you the techniques and skills required to ace these questions easily. By mastering these 5 question types and the rules behind them, you will become confident enough to ace most of the numerical reasoning tests that you are likely to face in your job search. So, make sure you watch through to the end and focus on each question fully. Most numerical reasoning tests allow calculators, so make sure to have yours with you when you watch this video, and be sure to make notes as we go along. Also, in this video, I will disclose where you can practice these tests for free. Remember to leave any comments, thoughts, or questions below, and I will be happy to answer them for you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe to ensure you don't miss our latest videos to help you land your dream job first time. Question 1. This is a classic numerical reasoning type question. We are asked to find the total number of mortgage approvals for the USA and Italy combined between 2016 and 2018. As you can see, we have a graph which shows the differing rates of mortgage approvals across 5 countries between 2015 and 2020. Let's begin with 2016. In the graph, you can see that the USA had approximately 170,000 mortgage approvals and Italy had approximately 95,000 approvals that year. Therefore, to find the total number of mortgage approvals for 2016, we simply add these figures together, which comes to 265,000. This is the number of mortgage approvals for both countries for 2016. The question is asking also for the years 2017 and 2018. So we must also calculate the approvals in 2017. In this year, the USA had 110,000 mortgage approvals, and Italy had 95,000 approvals, making it a total of 205,000. Finally, in 2018, we see that the USA had 75,000 approvals, and Italy had 95,000. This is a total figure of 170,000. The question asks for the total approvals across all 3 years, and we must therefore add the total figures for 2016, 2017, and 2018. Adding 265,000, 205,000, and 170,000 gives a final figure of 640,000. Looking at the answer options, we can see that option C is the correct answer. This is a very common question type that you may come across, and if you read the question carefully and break it down, you will be able to determine the correct answer easily. Later in this video, I will provide you with some free sample questions so you can practice and become more confident. This is just one of 5 question types you are likely to face. Keep watching to master the remaining 4 question types that will ensure you pass any numerical reasoning test you have to take. Question 2. This question is presented using pie charts. The question asks us to find the operating cost of IT and R&D combined for quarter 2 of 2020. As the question refers to quarter 2, we need to look at the right-hand pie graph. We can see that the cost of IT was 7.4 million euros and R&D cost 22.6 million euros. Adding these together provides an answer of 30 million euros, and we can see that option C is the correct answer. This question is very simple in terms of mathematical ability. However, some people will still get this question wrong as they've not read it correctly. Numerical reasoning is more about your ability to reason with information that is provided than your mathematical skill. Failing to identify the relevant information in the chart will inevitably lead to an incorrect answer. So make sure you read each question carefully and study the information provided. In many instances, the information provided will normally be used for 3 to 4 different questions, and taking some time to analyse the data presented will make it easier to answer other questions. Keep watching to master the 3 remaining question types that you will face in any numerical reasoning test. Question 3. For this question, I'd like you to have a go at it yourself. What percentage of animals at Auckton Zoo are giraffes? Make sure you read the information provided in the table thoroughly and use what we have learnt so far to identify the correct answer. Most numerical reasoning tests allow 1 minute to answer a question. Therefore, please take 60 seconds to have a go. Feel free to pause the video if you need more time, and don't forget to comment your answer. We will go through the answer to this question later in this video. Question 4. We are presented with data for the 2020 Customer Satisfaction Survey for Rixon's Retail, and we are asked the following question. For the overall experience, what was the ratio of customers reporting satisfaction compared to those customers reporting dissatisfaction? As a first step, it's important to make sense of the graph that is presented. We can see that customers have rated the business on 5 distinguishing factors, and along the vertical axis, we can see the number of respondents. Customers have been separated into 3 satisfactory groups: satisfied, dissatisfied, or neutral. As the question refers to the overall experience category, we must focus on these bars on the graph. Looking at those customers reporting satisfaction, we can see that the figure is 619. The figure for those customers reporting dissatisfaction is 371. Therefore, we have a ratio of 619 to 371. The answer options available show that none of them have decimal points, which means we need whole numbers for the ratio. We also need to simplify the answer into smaller terms. You can do this by dividing both sides by the largest figure, which in this case is 619. This then results in a ratio of 1 to 0.6. To obtain whole numbers, it can be seen that if the right-hand value is multiplied by 5, we get 3. We would also need to multiply the left-hand value by 5. This then leads to a ratio of 5 to 3. Looking at the answer options, we can see option E is the correct answer. The key thing to remember with ratio questions is, in order to simplify them, both sides must be treated equally. That is divided or multiplied by the same amount, and we are usually looking for the simplest ratio. So far, you have learned to analyse the data provided in graphs and charts and understand the question clearly before attempting it. We've also covered a variety of different ways in which you may be presented with data and the best way to go about answering these questions. Let's now move on to the final example that we will share in this video. Learning how to answer these 5 question types will help you pass most numerical reasoning tests used by employers today. Question 5. This is the final, most common numerical question type that we will cover today. If you can understand the reasoning and steps behind a question like this, you will be in a strong position to tackle any numerical reasoning tests that you may come across. The question asks, how many members in total joined the sports centre for swimming and aerobics? Let's take a look at the data that we have been given. The graph shows the different memberships available at a sports centre for various activities along with the monthly cost for these. For example, aerobics, weights, gym, etc. The data for the various facilities is further broken down by gender, showing a percentage split between males and females for each activity. On the right, we can also see the total number of men and women who have joined the centre. To begin with, we can see that the total number of men who have joined the centre is 1,812, and women is 1,673. So 100% of men is 1,812, and 100% of women is 1,673. If we divide these figures by 100, they will be easier to manage. So 1% of men will be 1,812 divided by 100, which will equal 18.12. 1% of women will be 1,673 divided by 100, which will equal 16.73. Let's begin with the men and calculate how many of them have joined for swimming and aerobics. We know that 1% of men equals 18.12, and as 12% of men have joined swimming, we can calculate that for swimming, 12% equals 12 times 18.12, which equals 217.44 men. For aerobics, 2% of men have signed up, so we can calculate that 2% equals 2 times 18.12, which equals 36.24. Therefore, a total of 253.68 men have joined the centre for these two activities. If we then look at the number of women that have joined, we can see from our calculations previously that 1% of women equals 16.73. 18% of women joined for swimming, so we calculate 18 times 16.73, which equals 301.14. For aerobics, 43% of women joined, so we can calculate 43 times 16.73, which equals 719.39. Therefore, the total number of women that joined for these two activities equals 1,020.53. Finally, to calculate the total number of members for these two sports, we must add the total number of men, which was 253.68, to the total number of women, which was 1,020.53. This gives us a total of 1,274.21. Looking at the answer options, we can see that B is the correct answer. This question is a bit more difficult, but this is precisely why it is crucial that you practice more and more questions before you take your actual logical reasoning test. Don't forget, we have free tests available at GF. Let's revisit question 3 and see if you got the correct answer. Here is the reasoning and steps behind this question. We were given a table with 5 different zoos, depicting information related to the number of various animals at each zoo. There were 5 types of animals: lion, tiger, zebra, giraffe, and other. We were then asked for the percentage of giraffes in comparison to all animals, specifically at Auckton Zoo. To calculate the answer for this question, we must first calculate the total number of animals at Auckton Zoo only, and then we can calculate what the percentage of giraffes is in comparison. So, step 1. Add all of the animals at Auckton Zoo. This is 45 plus 236 plus 214 plus 40 plus 112, which gives us a total of 647 animals. There are a total of 40 giraffes at the zoo, so we need to now calculate 40 as a percentage of 647. The calculation for this is 40 divided by 647, and then multiplying this answer by 100. 40 divided by 647 is 0.061. Multiplying it by 100 provides an answer of 6.1%. Therefore, we can see that A is the correct answer. Well done if you got the correct answer. You have just seen how to solve the most common numerical reasoning question types. Practicing these tests is the only scientifically proven way to improve. Thank you for watching. By now, you should have learned how to ace the most common numerical reasoning question types that are likely to appear in all numerical reasoning tests used by employers. Improve your numerical reasoning skills to pass candidate assessment for over 8,000 employers by practicing free tests on our website. Click on the link in the description to start practicing. Get a free report and personalized tips to improve your performance with your free test. Found this video useful? Please like, share, and subscribe for more.